it's one of those things I'm probably not going to post, but why I get upset with YouTube, I do not know. There's a YouTuber called Emmy, and Emmy Made in Japan, that's the name of her channel. It covers unusual types of food, unusual recipes, customs, army rations, all kinds of different things. Food from the Depression era. She cooks these, prepares them, tastes them, takes us on a trip through history. And she's always been very respectful. She's entertaining, sweet, soothing voice. And she's a beekeeper. She raises hens for the free-range eggs and is a beekeeper, avid, ardent beekeeper, and has been for years. And she has a whole channel basically dedicated to her bees. She's been taking on sponsors like everybody on YouTube, and I see that. You have to make a living. You have to pretty much have to do it if you're serious. She has 1.6 million subscribers and counting, and probably lots more who watch her. She's taken on sponsors like, optometrists or opticians or whatever, glasses, and she'll try the glasses on, and that's fine. Or fresh food delivery. My arm is hurt. I'm doing this as a selfie. Fresh food delivery, that's okay. One or two of them were a little iffy, I thought. But then she popped up again, and it was a recipe for Korean chicken, advertising Clorox single-use disinfecting kitchen wipes. Now, when I right away was stunned because she's gleefully pulling one after another out of this big plastic silo and wiping the counter with a big grin on her face, and then a few minutes later another wipe and a big gleeful, like she loves using Clorox wipes. Now, why does this bother me so much? She's selling Clorox wipes to 1.6 million people. She's not just using them herself and demonstrating them and showing that she probably uses them because she claims these are products she likes and uses. I just did a little bit of research, and words like disaster kept coming up. The environmental disaster of single-use wipes. They're ending up in the waterways. They're making something called fatbergs. You've probably heard of them. They're bus-sized mountains of wipes, single-use wipes, held together usually with cooking fat and other debris crap. God knows what. These are blocking the waterways. These are certainly harming the fish. They're getting into the water. Animals are swallowing them. Fish, aquatic mammals. I gotta switch this over, sorry. Aquatic mammals are, swallowing these and dying. And they're really no more defensible to use than plastic straws. And I think somewhat worse than plastic straws because of all the chemicals in them. They don't biodegrade. They have plastic in them. The ones that say they biodegrade, they don't. And I think to cap it off, if they do end up in a landfill, which a lot of them do, people say, oh, I'm not flushing them. If they end up in a landfill, they sit there, they don't biodegrade for centuries. The only way to get rid of them is to burn them. And when they're burned, it spews carbon dioxide and other, it's carbon emissions. So that's the only way to really get rid of these, except to flush them into the waterways and right into the wildlife and kill a lot of them. I'd let it go, maybe. No, maybe I wouldn't, but it's the beekeeping and it's the way she cares about the bees. I always felt she cared about the bees, and she just takes care of them so tenderly and with such concern. I don't watch a lot of them, but I've seen enough to know. And her hands and her, it's sort of like urban homesteading, and it's great. But now you may say, oh, come on. It's just one person using a Clorox wipe. And when I posted a couple of comments, that's what I got. For God's sake, lay off Emmy. Emmy wouldn't use this product unless it was okay. You could say that about plastic straws, too. If Emmy uses plastic straws, it's okay. Why? Are they different kind of straws? Does she touch them with her magic wand and they vaporize? Come on. It was the glee with which she used these, the way she looked into the camera, Several times she pulled the huge plastic silo from out of frame into frame, popped open the top and started pulling them out with this, I don't know, this glee. And she's over the edge, you know. Does a person like her really need to use Clorox wipes to make money? What else does this Clorox corporation make? Can you guess? Are those products good for the environment? Do you think they might be? I don't. Nothing happened when I posted these links to articles. I know people didn't want to read it. Maybe they didn't. And people are saying, hey, come on, you deserve it. You deserve that money. Maybe she does. Several people said, oh, she just plows it back into making good videos. And, oh, she uses it to raise her sons. If she uses the money from that product for good, keep her bees, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what it is. This is worse than for the environment than almost any other household product. There are literally billions of them in landfills and in the waterways, and the use of them has exploded in the last few years because people throw them out and think they're gone. You know, I won't get into balloon releases, I'm going to do a whole separate one on pounds and pounds of latex thrown all over the ground in the water, and where the, aquatic life swallows them and dies. But when you do a balloon release, you're doing it for a beloved person, so it's okay. It's okay. The other thing is the balloons sort of dissipate into the air and just sort of go apart. Their molecules go apart. There's no sense of where what used balloons are like. They're disgusting. And, thousands of pounds of those things. Nobody thinks of it. Whenever I see a video of a balloon release, I just wince. But if I ever say anything, oh boy, do I ever get clobbered. And this is what happened with Emmy. I don't hate Emmy, but I hate what she's doing. She's an environmentalist, isn't she? And she's saying it's not only okay, but great to use these and to use one after another after another. I got to wind this up here. I got to go out. I found more than one site that said, wait a minute, guys, these are useless. If you take a plain rag with some soap on it, on one side of the counter, take a Clorox disposable disinfectant wipe on the other side of the counter, wipe with both, wait 20 minutes, and then do a bacteria test. And guess what? They're equal. They're equal. There's all kinds of instructions on how to make your own wet wipes. It's very easy to do. If you want to add a little either vinegar or a little bleach, it'll work. Now, it grows back after a very short time because that's what happens. You can't cook on a sterile surface, and Emmy seemed to be saying if you sterilize your counter, you're a lot safer. But it doesn't happen. There's airborne bacteria. So what? We have an immune system for a reason. I don't think I'd want the residue from all that crap in my food. I just don't get it. It was bloody awful. I can't watch Emmy anymore. She doesn't seem to see the connection, and there is to her no connection between what she's doing, what she's selling, not doing, but selling to 1.6 million plus people and saying is good, and her beloved bees. The bees are dying. The bees are dying. And we know why. You incinerated several tons of wipes, or how many tons of wipes. It all goes into the air. The molecules don't come apart and float away to Never Never Land. They go into the air and kill the bees. That's all I have to say. I could go on and on, but I was just so fucking furious. Emmy, wise up.